At the end of the day, there's no update or revamp that can save Bloxburg.
The guy who's making the new map for Bloxburg is the same guy who made the new map for Row Citizens. And if you ever played that game,
I'm sorry to the developers for saying this, but who was the bozo that decided to...
The current map feels outdated.
okay, so yeah, the map, it's pretty old. It was made first in like 2015, which is 10 years old now, and you can definitely tell because it's like 2 roads. So overall, it's a bad base of a map because it's just so old.
I feel like half the buildings are getting renovated and like half the city is already brand new. And I feel like we don't need a completely new map. It seems perfectly new to me.
It's been around for years and doesn't reflect how much Bloxburg has grown. Also, a revamp is overdue. It's like renovating a house that's been lived in for 10 years.
Okay, so I'm Crooked60, and I am a pro map revamper. The current map is pretty dated, so I think it's time for a new one.
I feel as if the map is already updated enough, and with role players, they really just make their own towns anyway.
I trust Coffee Stain to keep the feel of Bloxburg on a new map.
I mean, I wouldn't say they started out the best, but I'd say like they're doing a little bit better now, so I kind of trust them. My name is Andrew, and I'm a pro map revamper because I think if the revamp update releases, then Bloxburg's popularity will increase again.
I just don't trust Coffee Stain with the new map revamp because as we've seen with the theater, it just looks so out of place and like not the Bloxburg vibe. And they've done a lot of very disappointing updates, so I feel like it could be very disappointing by them. My name is Nerdy, and I am an anti-map revamper, and I think this map is going to ruin the game. Though we haven't seen it yet, I think it could ruin it because as of the theater, it looks like it doesn't even fit into the Bloxburg map or vibe.
So I kind of have hope, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too sure because the guy who's making the new map for Bloxburg is the same guy who made the new map for Row Citizens. And if you ever played that game, you know that map's completely different. So I have hope at the end of the day, but I don't know. We'll see.
I do not trust them at all. I feel like since they're more of a corporate company, they're going to just end up changing the entire thing and make it monetized somehow. My name is Drewski, and I am a anti-map revamper. I think that Bloxburg is just going to become like another Brookhaven with this new map revamp.
The community doesn't have a say in Bloxburg's future anymore.
I do think they could improve communication, but the sneak peeks do show a little that they still value our input. They just need to show more of it.
We still have some says, because like, I think some people wanted a school, and we're finally getting a school in the new revamp.
But it's taken like 6 years to get a school. And either way, I feel like they haven't listened to the community at all for like any updates. They do whatever they want. The community is falling apart, and that's really obvious. My name is Samir, and I'm an anti-map revamper. I believe the map's going to ruin the game because the community is the real problem.
Okay, so I disagree because the community never had a say. Like even back when Queptus was in charge, they only had a say of like the grass color. But nothing really changed. They still don't have a say in anything pretty much.
Bloxburg should let players pick between old and new maps.
Okay, so I would have to disagree on that. It would split the player base, and it would also slow down updates. It's way much better to move forward with one strong version instead of like trying to maintain 2.
Though that I believe it might be a lot of hard work trying to transfer everything from the game to the other map, but it's definitely very good because many players like using the older map as they know it better.
We don't know what the new map is yet, so how are we supposed to know that the old map is better than the new map?
That idea is kind of because some people just will still prefer and ride the old map.
I feel like it's just going to cause unnecessary issues. Because when you have two servers that you're trying to work on at once, the updates are probably going to get even lengthier in between.
I would stop playing if the map revamp is bad.
I strongly disagree because at the end of the day, it's not really about the map. It's kind of about the communities. Because if you see communities like Bloxburg Chick-fil-A or Bloxburg United States of America, those types of communities, they don't really use the map that much. They actually just use their own plots, and they kind of get together just to role play in a fun way.
As a builder, I don't really care about plots and how it looks. I just like building and nothing else.
I mean, let's be honest here. How many of us actually use the town? I used to sit my plot the whole time. So unless the new map is really bad, then it should be fine.
We're updating the map so that we can use the map more, because right now we don't really use it. And that's a big problem, is if we don't use the map, then what's the point of revamping it anyways?
If the map update is good enough where we actually use the town, then okay. But I still don't see myself using the town at all. I just like building, so I'm not gonna go walk around town for no reason.
The map revamp will greatly increase Bloxburg's player count.
I think that it'll temporarily help the player count, and it'll bring it up for everybody to check out the map. But after we find out what it is, we can never really tell the future and figure out what the player count will be based off of how well the map is made.
Yes, revamps create a buzz, especially on social media like TikTok and YouTube. New players are most likely to stay if the game looks fresh and current.
I'm gonna be honest, people hyped up the game going free and saying that it would make such a big difference. As the new people who were free, they didn't even see the map, so that was basically a new map to them. And the player count kind of rise to a big amount in 2 hours and then just dipped and nothing much of it. Now it's the same thing.
I'm not gonna lie, this update will be make or break. If the map sucks, the game might die. But if it's good, we could see some more players. We'll have to see.
If they do what I think they're going to do, I think the Brookhaven kids are going to have a field day with it. I think they're going to make it so that they have places like a hospital or a police station, and we all know when a game adds those things, it's over.
Bloxburg should have waited to go free until the map revamp was ready.
Well, they were planning to do that from the jump. They said in an interview that they were going to do that, but they weren't happy with what the map was like. So maybe if they were more prepared, then they would have had a better outcome when the game went free.
For sure. I'm not gonna lie. Free Bloxburg was kinda a disaster. I think if the new map would have been ready, it could have been great.
I think Bloxburg should have never been free, and it should cost 100 Robux instead. I don't want poor people in my game.
Got new people coming in and being ooh, this is cool. But then they got nothing else to do, because they're new, right? And then they're gonna explore around the map, but no, it's just some boring old map. I'm sorry to the developers for saying this, but who was the bozo that decided to do that? Make that decision? I'm sorry, but it was kind of stupid.
Bloxburg is becoming too much like other Roblox games.
I do think that if Bloxburg does go forth with this map revamp, it's going to just turn like another Brookhaven, Livetopia, Life Together, those genre of games.
So right now, no. But I could see that happening depending on the new map. But I'm hoping that they'll keep it unique.
Bloxburg might have originally been unique, but with a map revamp, it's just going to become Brookhaven and every other Roblox game, because the map is going to start becoming the focus of the game and not building and not prioritizing those types of updates.
I don't believe that it's becoming like any other game. The building of this game is very unique and not like any other. There's barely any restrictions.
Bloxburg is unique, as Andrew said. There's fun role plays, detailed buildings, realistic design. Even with updates, it's not turning into Brookhaven as some people were trying to say.
The map revamp should be separate from the school update.
I kind of think that it's kind of stupid that they would do it in different updates because it's a whole map revamp. I don't know why they just leave an empty block for 5 months waiting for a school. I don't know why it doesn't all just come out at once.
Yeah, so I'm tired of waiting for this new map. And besides, I would never use the school anyway, so I'd rather have the map sooner than have to wait another 5 months or whatever.
Yeah, I think it should come out all at the same time, because if you're doing a full map revamp, you want the full experience and not have to wait an additional couple months for the full update.
I think that because the map revamp is inevitable, we should let the game continue to have updates, and especially considering the fall is like back to school season, like a school comes out when everybody goes back to school.
I think like you should be able to include a school in it because like a school is more simpler to make than like a whole actual map.
School's gonna take a lot longer to code and to build.
A map revamp won't fix what's, quote, actually wrong with Bloxburg.
So personally, I think like a map revamp is gonna fix everything. I mean, you still got the UI, you still got a bunch of other stuff, other systems. The map isn't the only thing in the game.
I think the community is the real problem, and all of the developers that don't listen to the community, and that if that could be fixed, then that would solve the issues with the game.
I think that most of the problem is with the communication and what the current updates have been. A map has been asked by the community, but it's not very much needed. It's not too out of date.
I mean, it could, but only if they add more gameplay elements to the new map. Because the biggest problem with Bloxburg is that it's boring. So I'm hopeful they can add some good stuff to it, but we will see.
The real problem with Bloxburg is like the community. None of us even play the game anymore, and we all just have opinions that the devs and Coffee Stain don't even listen to. At the end of the day, there's no update or revamp that can save Bloxburg.
A successful map revamp will allow Bloxburg to overtake Brookhaven.
There's always a chance, but at the end of the day, if this map revamp doesn't come out well, then there's no way we're overtaking Brookhaven with more than 1 million players.
It's practically impossible to take over Brookhaven as it's always filled with people. It's basically impossible.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Brookhaven is a trash game, but for some reason, the kids love it. And honestly, Bloxburg might be a little bit too complicated for those kids to understand, no matter what map they have.
Absolutely not. I mean, Bloxburg would have to dumb down the game so much to the point where players like us would have a hard time even playing, but the little kids would have a fun time playing, and they're just not going to do that to the community. They're just not.
This game is already boring. If the it's so bad.
No.
It's never
Horrible.
good.
It gets boring
It's
after
actually
like
pretty boring.
20 minutes.
It's not,
It
there's
is
nothing
pretty boring.
Until you add
entertaining.
new things and
If
shit.
you're
Game
not rich,
sucks.
there's nothing to do in this game.
It's for the rich. It's only for the rich.
Exactly,
It's
it's
only
all
for
for
the
the
rich.
It's a big
It's
cast.
all for the